Name is Iman and I will be your host in next 90 minutes. Today, as we had our schedule for Thursdays, we talk about relationships. And today, specifically, we want to talk about the question that which one would you choose? An ugly truth or a protective lie? We have been lied to so many times in our lives, and it is very likely that the liar might tell us that they were protecting us because we cannot handle the truth, or they were trying to fix it, or any other reason. They will protecting us. First of all, if you have the same experience you want to talk about, you are more than welcome to join. And I would love to hear from all of you, especially if we can have a couple of new friends who have this experience they want to talk. That would be interesting, of course. And what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to do the same thing or not? And it will be more interesting later because I have a couple of questions that I think we need to think about, of course. What you were listening to at the beginning of this show is called Jack Nice by Dida. It is a very interesting song. I love Dida. She is a very talented, genius artist. You can find her music all around the internet. Dida, Jack Nice. Listen to that specific song. That's a really interesting one. So let's continue. Let's start with our question, our topics: ugly truth or protective lie. Alrighty, let's begin. I have so many interesting, amazing friends who want to join me. Let's begin with a friend of mine who have been here before many times, and today I'm sure that she has so much to share.
Hello,
Hello, Ozma. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Great, great. Thank you so much. I'm good. And
So we have a very interesting topic today.
before we continue, do you have something matchy you want to show?
Oh, yes. I have something like this. Let's with you now. Hold on. Let me put that on.
Mm-hmm. See, she has the same necklace. That's actually that, but that used to be mine. But now she won this. Like, thank you. So, congratulations. I'm glad you have your necklace. You received your necklace. This is a new one I'm wearing. But wow, yeah. So that was awesome. That was thank you so much, guys. This is kind of like off topic. If you use the link on my bio, Ikra Dennis, on my link tree, make donations. This week we have big, huge things coming up on giveaways. We have Louis Vuitton wallet, we have a Gucci purse, we have poetry book, like amazing stuff. All right, so thank you so much for joining, and I really want to know what you.
I think this looks better on me.
Yeah, you already have it. Okay.
I think this looks better on me because my shirt is matching, and then
Okay.
it looks better on me.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just I think okay, yeah.
I don't know what to say now.
Of course it does. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think about the question?
Well, what I think about this question is that, can you repeat the question?
Ugly truth or protective lie?
Definitely ugly truth. Sooner the better.
Have you ever lied to your child?
Yeah. Now we are getting complicated a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're getting complicated a little bit. I try not to. I like to tell the truth, no matter what. And sometimes I get into trouble because of that. I remember that my daughter was very young, the younger daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She loved to sing, but her voice wasn't that appealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I told her that we should learn to sing rather than just go on the stage and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, she didn't like that. She hated me for that. She still holds a grudge till this day.
Mm-hmm.
She tells me that, Mom, you hate my voice, which is not true. So, this is something different. But the thing is that I think that regardless, no matter what, whoever it is, I think telling the truth is a better option. But maybe you can tell the truth in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can be a little bit more diplomatic,
Mm-hmm.
but do not hide anything from anyone.
I want to see this topic from all angles. If you guys watching this, that is the out, I don't know, the bigger image of this show. So we're going to talk to different friends and have their opinion. I will ask some questions. I want to see this from all the angles, and then there is a most important question I'm gonna ask maybe in the last 30 minutes of this show, which is something I really invite you all to watch and then think about the question. So you know that, so you already did it like with your children, but you personally do not like to being lied to just because to protect you.
Absolutely. I don't think that lie can protect like a person when we are adults. I don't think that lie can protect us.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of lie?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of protection anyone is providing anyone to just lie about that? Truth will always set the person who's a sayer or a doer, will set them free. Not only them, but the person who comes to know, they deserve to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is, as a human being, we have, and when we come into relationships, I think it's our birthright to know the truth at all times. We should not be hiding it.
Okay. Awesome.
I had been lied to.
Yeah, that must be my next question is, do you have the experience exactly like this? Someone lied to you and said, yeah, I was protecting you? You want to talk about?
God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This was the one reason I'm very open. I'm a very open individual. I'm not going to manipulate thinking that, okay, you know, there are so many people listening and they probably would take advantage of what I'm going to say. My marriage ended because of that.
Mm-hmm.
My marriage ended.
You're not the only one.
Yes, my marriage ended because of that.
You're not the only one.
Mm-hmm. Financial lies, a lot of them. So that was one of the reasons that my marriage ended. And I only, if I had known better, I would have protected my children better. Mm-hmm. I would have taken certain steps to protect the situation. And I could have been a partner and ally to my ex-husband, saving the situation rather than, you know, becoming it more worse. Mm-hmm. So no, in the end, you know, and then lying, more prolonged it is, most of the time, when you said in your clip also before that, because when you start lying, there are so many other lies start following that there is no way that only one lie will just and you're done with that. No, I think it carries on a trail with it. And then how much are you going to protect? Like, how much are you going to? You then, in the end, you become held hostage to your own lies rather than protecting somebody. The intention actually goes buried somewhere else. So it's not. I don't think that lying is a good idea. Policy.
Mm-hmm.
No.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. It's nice to see you have your necklace, and it's always nice to have your shares. And yeah, so thank you. I hope that we can talk soon again.
Thank you so much for
having
me.
Of course. Thank you. Bye. All right. So the question is, do you prefer to be lied to and be protected, or you want to know the ugly truth? Someone mentioned in a comment on the TikTok that brutal honesty, please. Brutal honesty, please. Okay, let's continue with our. So from this perspective, we talk about it. I am now going to talk to another friend, which is actually so her case is so relevant to another question I have. I want to. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi,
Sorry.
Rashda. How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. I had a rough morning, but I'm doing better.
You're doing so much for ICRA, and I'm so proud. I monitor it. I see you sending me all the screenshots of like, this is my cousin, this is my brother, this is a neighbor, this is okay. Yeah, thank you. I mean, if ever I want to go to be a like if I'm going to make vote or something to be a like president, you will be my head office for what they call it. I don't know what they call it. Just if I'm going to run for office, you will be my campaign manager.
ICRA is saving me, and because I've had a lot of messages, and it only takes a click of a button. I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is sending messages. That's all I'm doing. And people who know me, who love me, know that I'm not lying. So when I'm sending this stuff, it's just because I did a click of a button. I'm not doing anything else. And she's making, honestly, we're going off topic, but I'll be very frank with you. For the last 3 years, I've been trying to find a purpose in my life. It's so hard to come to terms with whatever I was going through. And I really think that ICRA is healing me.
We all need something to hang in there together. We all need something to share purpose with. The positive thing to do, all to see a purpose to what is bigger and better and more important than a child's life.
Exactly. And so when I do something for her, it spiritually helps me. So, okay. But thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, of course. So I want to hear your answer first, and then I have another question. So which one do you prefer, an ugly truth or a protective lie?
I want the ugly truth.
Ugly truth.
Yes.
So my question is relevant to your condition as a cancer patient, cancer fighter. So let's see. You wanted the answer, the doctor be straight and let you know exactly what is the condition, right?
Yes.
Imagine this case that me as a doctor, as a surgeon, I have a patient, an 85 years old, and their children tell me that, ask me not to tell them about their condition. They say, like my mom is too old and she doesn't know. She probably will panic. She's old. She cannot handle the truth if you don't tell them. You just tell them that everything is all right. You just run some tests and keep delaying the truth. Don't let them know what exactly is her or his condition. What do you think I should do?
Since I had both of my parents passed and both of them from an illness, first of all, I don't think as an adult, I think especially in certain cultures like mine, adult children think that they have a right to know what's right and wrong for their parents. Even though their parents are the ones that brought them into this world and raised them. I don't think it's their right. I think the patient's right comes first. So I think that the patient has a right to know.
That's true, but imagine, like let's say Mrs. Jung is a 85-year-old Chinese lady with end-stage pancreatic cancer. She cannot speak English. She just came here to visit her family. She is suffering from heart disease, lung disease, let's say, and she has had like a recent mental breakdown, and she had like a panic attack and all this stuff like this. Yeah. So patient has the right to know, but it's okay. So you see the whole package.
Right.
And their children ask me not to explain and let them know that what exactly they have, a pancreatic cancer. Say, oh, this is just a belly pain. It will go on soon. So what about now?
See, the thing is, from my perspective, if I was, even though I have anxiety, I have those things, if she has very good time, she has a right to know, because what if there's certain things she wants to do?
Mm-hmm.
What if she changed her will? What if she wants to give something, want her children to know this goes here, this goes here? Because I've been through that. Parents die, and you have one child that hogs everything, and the other children are left behind. So yes, I understand that perspective the children are coming from, because they want to protect their mother. But then that mother has to come to terms with it, okay, because we're stronger than what we really think we are.
Mm-hmm.
They might see their mom as being frail,
Mm-hmm.
but we're a lot stronger than what we really are, what we really think we are.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives her the right to know as a patient, so she can determine what she wants to do with her life. Does she want to go back to China and be buried there? Does she want to be here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from that perspective, she has a right to know.
And okay, thank you. And let me ask the question I asked Uzma before. Have you ever lied to your children?
With my daughter, I don't think so. I'm a pretty honest person.
I mean, when they were 5, 6, 7.
There's certain things probably that I've probably,
like when let's just make it easy. Like a pet dies. When a pet dies, they say, "Oh, it's in a garden. It's in a farm with other dogs. They're happy." If like these kind of stuff.
Death is something that we were very honest with my
Mm-hmm.
daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a belief system. I may have, but I don't remember. Like when my father died, she was only 9, so she had to process that and be able to go through that. My mom died. The only thing we did is she was in school, and we waited until she came home,
Mm-hmm.
Sat her down, and explained the situation to her. So yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you so much. It was nice to see you, talk to you. Thank you for what you're doing for Ikra. Please, So take care of yourself. Talk to you soon again.
Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. All right. At first, when you look at the question, the answer is obvious. Of course, ugly truth is better than protective lie. But when you break it down, let's start with the question, Townhouse Network, hey, how are you? When you break it down, you see there are aspects, when you break it down to medical aspect. How straightforward should a doctor be with the patient? When you break it down to children, seniors, and older patients, so what is the fine line there? Is there any or not? Is there any fine line between telling the truth or keeping some of it, or not telling the whole truth? What is the measurement? What is our scale? Let's see. Let's talk to I'm just trying to Hanali, hi. Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Would you please, you haven't been on the show for a while, so please introduce yourself before we continue.
Indian Syrian. I live in Canada in Mississauga.
Mhm.
I'm a partner with Dr. Iman, and I'm also a partner in the Nest company.
Okay.
I
Thanks.
study at the CSW in Canada, and it's the community social worker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hanali is one of the most active partners in Juice Plus, and she's so into this business. I'm so glad that you are my first Arab speakers, let's say, or in Middle East partner who's going to build this business strongly.
Thank you.
But so
Thank you
today,
so
thank you so much. Today we talk about the question. You already, I think you already know the question. What is your answer? What do you prefer?
Yeah, but give me an example to tell you my answer. So, what kind of truth do you want? Is it for children? Is it for patients? Is it for the regular life?
So in general, what is your answer? What would you choose?
I always choose the truth.
Have you ever?
Even
Okay, please.
even if it's hurt, like I like to know the truth more.
Mhm. And have you ever lied to your daughter?
Never. I never lied to my daughter or any one of my children.
Mm-hmm.
I let them, like, even if I have a problem, I share it with them, because life, it's not easy. They must know they will struggle many things. They will face many hard times. So they must be prepared for everything. But I always let them be positive, that life is beautiful, life is good. But they must know that life have everything. Have positive, have negative. They will face people, good people. They will face bad people. So why I will lie for them?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean,
So you don't lie to your children because you want to prepare them for the real life.
Yes, but like, yes, I don't lie to them to let them be strong, to let them know the life, how it's going in life. But at the same time, I'm someone who supports my children. I always tell them, like, wherever you did, even bad things, I'm behind you.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what is it,
Mm-hmm.
what you ever do, I'm always behind you. Because a child, if he will feel that, okay, he did something bad and he cannot tell me what's going on, it will be worse and worse and worse. But if he will tell me from the beginning, I can solve the problem with him together. So yeah.
All right.
I try.
So you never lied, but have you ever been lied to?
Yes.
With the exact justification that, oh, you couldn't handle the truth, that's why I didn't tell you.
Like, I was being hurt when I know the truth, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt a lot. It broke my heart.
The
Okay?
truth or the fact that they lied first?
Like, it's not about the lie. It's about the liar. Who's the liar?
Mm-hmm.
The liar, that you will be shocked. Okay.
So technically, the one who's trying, or at least pretending that they're protecting you, are someone close. You know, it's not a random, like a stranger, right?
Yes, exactly. That hurts more than the fact of lie.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me, Dr. Iman? So when you put all your trust in someone, and like, then you will be shocked that he's the person who lied to you. This is more horrible than the fact of the story of the lie.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for joining. Nice to see you again and talk to you. Hopefully you can come back later.
Doctor, thank you to share this with you.
Thank you.
So much. Have a nice day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you. Bye. She said something really true. It's not the lie, sometimes it's the liar that it makes it even worse, more painful. I had a video before. I probably should do this again. That's that's one of my favorite quotes that I wrote, that paper cuts are painful, extremely painful. Not because it's just a cut. When you cut your finger with a knife, it's not as painful as a paper cut. It's because you don't expect the paper to cut. That feeling, it's even makes it even worse when you cut your finger with paper. It's like, why you? Like, how come? And well, yeah, that is something to consider, of course. Let's see. All right, so we have Seher here, so we can talk about a couple of different topics. And hello.
Hello.
Hey.
I can't. My environment's not proper to open the camera. I have people around me.
Okay. How are you doing?
Good.
How
are you?
Great. How is Ikra doing? Would you please update us with her condition?
She's gonna stay in the hospital for 3 days. Her test, it takes that long, and in the meanwhile, when she's in the hospital, they do a lot of blood work and a lot of needles and sticking, and her muscles hurt anyway. So me and her mom were crying.
That is so. This. I mean, it's so heartbreaking. But honestly, this is something that make all these. You are a nurse yourself. Like, this is inevitable. When you go to hospital, there must be some blood work, which is painful, of course, to watch, but it's part of the process.
This is for her.
Mm-hmm.
We found someone his name is Ahmed. He is in Kuwait. I don't know, I can't say it. He is going to go to the hospital and talk to them because he travels for his work. He is going to talk to them to see what we can do about the amounts now, because we couldn't have any of us go and actually do this. I only wrote emails. But thank you. I thank him for going there. I met him through Instagram, through actually your page. And he messaged us and he said, listen, I work like this. Do you want me to go over there? I said, yes. We sent him the hospital paperwork so he can talk in behalf of Ikra Deniz.
And let them know that it's maybe, if that is a good idea, we already are at 88 something.
Yes.
So
yes.
Maybe for the rest 12%, we can pay it like later.
5%. Even if they cut 10%.
No, even if they don't cut it, if they can if they accept that the payment will be there after they they can make it.
I told you I tried to pull a loan myself. Now my brother is trying, and they're showing his business as they want his business as a collateral. Like, as a family, we're trying. We want this family to just be better. Like, it's so hard. For them especially, why I tried to voice them worldwide, you want to know?
So they start, just keep it in mind
There's
that's
so many kids like this.
That's an offer.
But
if they accept to give her the medication today, and the rest of the money will be paid in next maybe 2 to 3 months, that would be that's I think that's a fair offer if they accept it. I don't know how we can do this. Well, yeah. So we will talk about this for sure more. But what is your answer to the question?
Yes, definitely truth. Why? My father raised me that way. He said, I don't care if you're at a gunpoint. No matter what happens, don't turn your back away from the truth, because that will determine your character. And when I separated from my husband 11 years ago, I have two stories. 11 years ago, my son was 4 years old. I actually went to a psychiatrist for my son and told him in that room with her so that he can understand, because she was looking at me. She was like, are you sure? I said, yes. I'd rather have him know what's going on than hide it from him, and then he's sitting in his room wondering why his dad is not coming home. No, I'm not going to have him hate his father because me and him didn't get along.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. And number two, and I don't lie to my kids. And my mom thinks I'm very cruel. But it's not because I'm cruel. It's because I love them and I'm trying to teach them that there is stuff like this. Don't be surprised. Like, see the truth in everything. Try to see the truth in everything. And when people lie, you 100% know if you're telling the truth yourself. If you're a person that tells the truth all the time, you can tell a lie from the way they look, from their hand movements, from the way their body is, everything. So I'd rather teach my kids that, have them be strong and be able to face everything instead of getting fooled by everybody and living their life in a little fantasy world when this world is not like that. Number two, my father was diagnosed with liver cancer.
Mm-hmm.
He was perfectly fine. Everything was fine. And we had his yearly checkup. Nothing came up. And then he went, he had like a little cold and it wouldn't go away. So we took him to the doctors. I knew it though. Like, we knew something was wrong. And the doctor pulled us aside and said, he was a friend of ours. So he said, listen, your father needs to go to a specialist. Something is really wrong. We went to a specialist. Of course, our family doctor came and he said, what do you guys want to do? Tell your father or not? Because he's at the end stage. And we were like, oh my God, like, how is this possible? Me and my brothers talked about it and my sisters. And we look at it this way. If somebody's sick, that is their test in life that they have to pass. They have to face that. That is between them and God, divine, creator, whatever. You cannot hide what God or the creator gave them from them. That's not our position.
Mm-hmm.
It is not our position to hide that from them and have them face their own truth. It is up to him how he's going to deal with his test. So what we did is we told him, we stood by him, we helped him, we did everything in our power, but it was not our position. If something is written in his destiny, it is not our position to lie to them and tell them that they're okay when they're not. They have to face it.
Mm-hmm. And the simple way to look at this is, if I was in the same exact situation, did I want to know or not?
I would want to know, because that is maybe my faith is being tested.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have to know how strong my faith is. Maybe that's why that was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why I was facing that test. Like, that had to be written in my destiny for me to be either stronger or get defeated by it.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing can defeat anybody in this world if you believe. If they say destiny loves, how do you say that? Effort. Destiny loves effort. If you can repent and say, God, forgive me, or forgive me for what I have done, if you can repent and say that, believe me, you can rewrite your destiny. I've done it 4 times. 4 times. I said, this is not what I like about my life. What can I do? I can sit here and cry about it,
Mm-hmm.
which is not going to change anything. Or I can get up off my seat, shake myself up, and change it to the way I want. And I did.
Mm-hmm.
4 times, and I was successful 4 times. Once after my father died, when I got divorced, when I didn't like my career, because we have a family business, and that's what was written for us. You have to do family business. And once I'm working, it's a restaurant business, I'm working there, I said, no, this is not what I want. I went to school, got my degree, and then when I was nursing, somebody came with a gunshot. And I said, oh my God, like, I'm only putting a Band-Aid on this. What was the cause of this? It was a hatred riot. Like, that's why that guy was in there. And I said to myself, no. Instead of putting a Band-Aid on it, why can't I change the mindset? Like, maybe I can be an influence. Maybe. And then I started having speeches. I go to speech, how do I say it, like seminars.
Mm-hmm.
Kids that are from different cultures that have been abused or hate crime, like hatred towards, they've seen this type of situations. I go and I show them that not everybody's like that. That we are walking with them, we are with them, that they don't have to hate just because somebody else is full of hatred, and they're mirroring it on these kids, doesn't mean that they have to grow up to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have saved over 210 so far. And now they're helping people like themselves. So, yeah, ugly truth is always better.
Awesome. Well, dear, thank you so much. Thank you for your share. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and experience. And while you're here, guys, if you're watching this, please go to my link tree on my bio. The third name is Ikra Deniz. Make your donations. She is a little angel in Turkey, 2-year-old, and she needs immediate medication, immediate help with her medication today. And she's suffering from a genetic disease, and we are all trying to help her with her medication. Make your donation. Send me a screenshot of your donation, and your name will be added to this magic ball for Sunday, that we have a lot of amazing stuff to give away, and we're gonna have some good time together.
Can I want to thank you for actually, I don't think anyone has created a platform like this that gave the freedom to listen to everybody, that gave the freedom to be able to express their feelings, no matter where they're from, what they are. You are a global man, like globally, everybody loves you.
Thank you.
Honestly. And I've seen that in like the Turkish community that I'm in. I've seen that, and I had a lot of people say, "Is this man real?" I said, "Real as he gets," because guess what? I texted, he didn't know me, and he's really helped. He gave a hand, and he's doing it from the heart. Don't think that he's doing it just to do it, because a lot of people we asked help from, they just did it one time and they left. But you stuck around. I know you care for this little girl, much as I do. And I'm like emotionally drained. Believe me, I thank you for her parents. I thank you for myself. And we planted a tree. Me and her mom planted 2 trees for you, so you could be oxygen to everybody in the world and oxygen to the granite.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't know what to say. I received the energy. I receive your compliment. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you. As I said once, this is it's the perspective that give meaning to everything. When you talk about begging, is not generally speaking a nice word or nice act or action to do, but for me, getting on my knees and begging for help for this little girl is the most honorable thing I've ever done.
And that's why I feel honored working as a team with you, and with this Juice Plus, I can't wait to do business with you. There isn't anything more or anything better or anyone better in this world than to work with you, because I know your intentions. Like like I said, I've been in business since I was 13 years old, in a business environment. We were trained to do business, but you do it with good intentions. I know there isn't one person in this world that you would harm knowingly. So doing business with you, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Wow. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for all this energy, love, and being here. All right. So I have one guest now. I guess she might be ready to join me. I don't know if Dia, if you are here, you want to join, I know that this is a topic that you really are interested in, you want to share. If you want to join me, please let me know. You can send a request to join. And I don't know if, let's talk to a friend that I read the comment. Okay, so let's just have one more guess and then go back to Dia. But I think Julianne has a different perspective. Hello.
Oh, I certainly do.
Yeah,
Hello,
I read your comment. I was like, what? Let's see what does she have to say.
Right. Well, first of all, it's a little bit of a rocky road, this one, really, because I'm taking a deep breath now because I was lied to until I was 23 years old. And that had one hell of an impact on my life. I know why I was lied to, but it has an impact. And I always swore blind that I would never, ever lie to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandma, who brought me up, or had great influence in my life, said to me, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose I've lived by that all my life.
Would you please repeat it again? That was so that was beautiful.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Now, that was from my grandma, who was of Victorian era. And
I love grandmas, you know. I love grandmas. You know, like I love spending time with elderlies, but among them, like when it comes to seniors, like grandmas are amazing. You know, they just love to just give you everything they have in a second. They're like a treasure chest.
Thank you.
yeah, you're not there yet. Yeah, you're not there yet.
Three grandchildren. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so going back, she taught me that all my life, and she ruled the family with an iron rod. You know, everything had to be just so, and there was no deviation. You couldn't go off the rails. It was basically tell the truth, have courage and convictions, and go with it. So yeah, I was brought up like that, and this is quite a sad story, really, because I was so close to my grandma. And I lived, when I got married, I lived 300 miles away from her. And she became quite ill. And one evening, I'd been told that she was very, very ill. She was near enough on her last. And I actually said, I don't care how I look, I'm going to get in the car and I'm driving. And I got there. And within an hour of being with her, she passed. But before she passed, I actually said to her, because she just would not close her eyes, she refused to close her eyes. Now, when I was with my grandma, we used to watch the television, and she would obviously sometimes doze off. And then she'd wake up, so you're still here? I said, yes, I'm still here, Gran, I'm still here. Anyway, I took her hand, and she had her son there, and her daughter-in-law and everybody else was around the bed. And they said that she waited for me, really, to be honest. And I held her hand, and she looked at me, and I said, you know, Granny, if you go to sleep now, when you wake up, I will still be here.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me and gave a wry smile as I said, I'm not so sure about this. I said, please, Granny, go to sleep. Close your eyes. And when you wake up, I will still be here. She closed her eyes and passed. That was a lie, but it wasn't a lie. It was a double-edged lie, because I am still here, and I'm a great believer that wherever she's gone, she can still see me. So that was a faith lie.
Mm-hmm.
Then as life progressed, other things happened, and I was due to have an operation. I went in for a routine operation morning, and I was woke up, and the doctor was sat next to me. Now, I'd been seeing this doctor for a good 12 months. And so the surgeon was sat next to me, and he looked at me. And a friend of mine happened to be matron for the hospital, and she was in there as well. I thought, this is a bit odd. Bearing in mind, my husband had died, and, a year beforehand, my father too. And so I was practically a single mother. And the doctor looked at me and he said, Julianne, I have to tell you something. I've had to stop the operation. And I looked at him and I said, yes. He said, I need to keep you in for a little bit longer. I'm not sure that you can take the truth. And I said, yes, I can take the truth. He said, have you heard the word oncology? I said, yes, I have. I have heard the word oncology. He said, I have to apologize to you because I have missed something. I went in and we've seen a mass. I said, okay. He said, you do realize that you can sue me? And I looked him straight in the face and I said, why would I want to sue you? You are saving my life at this moment in time, or you were giving me a chance. So thank you for the honest truth. Now tell me what's wrong. And he told me, and I saw a marvellous man called Mr. Potenshock, who, with him and Anthony Norden, who's another consultant, a few weeks after that conversation, I went through a 10-hour operation, and I'm here to tell the tale. So yes, the honest truth is helpful because you can get your life into perspective. I agree with Rasha, that you must be able to order and put things in order. It's also heartbreaking when you have to lie to your child, and I've had to do that. And I did it for the best intentions. We were on a day trip with her father. We'd gone to work with him, to be honest with you, and it was a day trip. We boarded a cruise liner. And unfortunately, he went about his work. And next minute I know, I get a knock on the door. And he was very poorly. I was asked, was he epileptic? I said, no, he's not. Well, he's in the back of the vehicle. I jumped out of the vehicle and got to Ian and performed CPR on him. I knew that the chances were that he wasn't going to make it. My daughter was 13 years old, and he was the apple. You know, he was literally her world, her absolute world. And to be honest with you, I got into. We followed him out. They took him in the ambulance, and in the county that he died in, they don't normally take people in ambulances if they're dead. Mm-hmm. But they took him to a hospital, and I previously said, because I had carried on doing CPR, and I'd actually said to somebody, look, you know, I want you to call for a defibrillator, please, because whilst I've got slight output, we may well be able to bring him out of this. I'd got on autopilot, so much so that the people around me didn't even realise that I was his wife. It was only when the doctor from the cruise liner took over for me that my legs went. They absolutely went. But I had to compose myself to tell my daughter that everything was going to be fine. And that is the worst lie I've ever had to tell. Because when we sat in the car and she said, what's happening to Dad? Will he be okay? I turned to her and I said, he will be absolutely fine. Whatever happens, he'll be perfect. Little did I know that a good 20 minutes later, we'd be watching him being resuscitated and that his life would be called. I have never, ever forgiven myself for that, and that's 14 years down the line. It did affect Fiona Ann. It affected her dramatically. Not only did she have to deal with her father dying, but she had to deal with the one person that she'd always looked to lying to her. And that was so, so hard. I swore blind then that I would never lie to anyone ever again. You know, I might say I haven't got your birthday present as a surprise when you're doing a surprise party, but I would never, ever lie to anyone again. Mm. And that is so, so hard. Mm-hmm. You know, I carry that around on my shoulders. And I think, why? Why? But that was a protective lie. But it didn't protect her. It caused a lot more demons than I'd ever anticipated could have happened. So that's my story.
Mhm.
So it's a hard one. I've wrestled with it, but I know at the time, once I said it, that, you know, as a ringing a prayer, that hopefully things would be better. You know, we are as fine as we can be 14 years down the line, but it was a hard call.
First of all, I really, that's kind of cliche to say I'm sorry for your loss, sorry for your, experience, but I really admire the way that you recall all these stressful events and you get the best out of them. And I want to suggest you, if you haven't thought about it yet, start writing a book, of course. And I suggest you start with your grandma. I mean, the first chapter is Granny. I think Granny would be great. So then you did, because you've been through a lot, ups and downs, and you saw war, you saw everything. I mean, and the way that you try to you make this image even in a live event and live session with no preparation before. It's a gift. You need to take advantage of it and let others know about your what you learned, and this is how you can share it, of course. Thank you so much for your share. Thank you for
Thank you.
Sharing your heart with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There is another little saying that I'd like to give you, and it means quite a lot, actually. It's a little bit of a deep saying, so I've got to put my glasses on because I haven't seen what I'm reading otherwise. Right, it goes, lies that have short legs are those that carry you a little distance, but cannot outrun the truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How profound is that?
Like, it's about the ultimate. It's ultimately,
Yes.
Eventually, truth will win.
Yes.
And before we go to our next guest, Dia, I guess she's ready. But something you mentioned, it's kind of like a useful tool, guys. What your doctor actually did, the surgeon, it's a tool that we learn in medical school. They call it spike. But it's good if you even want to share the truth. You are going to tell the truth. It's not like you walk into your patient's room. Hey, Mr. Janice, you have cancer. How you doing? Mm-hmm. Yes, I see you have a cancer. It's a really bad one. Big cancer in your belly. You don't have much time. Have a nice evening. It's not like that. Spike, like setting you, if you're really going to share some truth, which could be hurtful, and something you don't need to lie about, but if you think it's going to hurt someone, make the setting first. Call them, ask them, sit. Okay, we need to talk. It's a setting. They know that, okay, so there's something, because it's all about preparation. When you are now ready to receive something that might not be pleasant. Okay, the setting. Then preparation, start to have a conversation around, ask about their understanding, their expectation. Okay, so now we're going to talk about something. Ask them, how much do you want to know? It's really nice. I mean, so even if my patient say, I don't want to know more than that. Yeah, I have a cancer, that enough. I don't want to know more. Okay, I'm legally not bound anymore. So they will in medicine, they will let's say they will announce they will give us a representative. They will say, so my son is now my let's say power of attorney. You can talk to him about my medical decisions. Okay, so ask, even if it's not medical, some things you just need to talk to someone. I'll ask them, how much do you want to know? It's easy, right? You can Google it. The spike is easy to. It's a tool. You just know setting, preparation, expectation, understanding, and then talk about the event and give them as much as they want to know. This is a really, really useful tool. Thank you so much.
On that note, if I may just say, I actually felt sorry for the consultant at the time, because it's not the most enviable thing to have to do, and he has a duty of care to the patient. Obviously, I hear what you're saying. If somebody's got lasting power of attorney because of the cognition that the patient may have or may not have, so I do understand that. I was just thankful that he found it, to be honest with you. Unusual circumstances, but he found it, and I'm here to tell the tale. And I'll always be thankful to always. So, you know, it's a hard call. So anyway, thank you very much. I'm mindful you've got other people to come on. So God bless to all of you. And I hope I'm exonerated now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Take care.
Before we continue to our next guest, I just noticed some comments. Seher, it is 90% or 100. I just, I think it was kind of like a mistypo kind of thing, or would you please be more? They are both something to celebrate, but is it 90 or 100? %. Okay. Guys, I'm happy to announce that we reached 90%. So it's just 10 more % of your donations. And we need 10 more % to reach the 100% for Ikra Dennis donations. Thank you all. And we still have 10 more crucial steps to take. Okay. Hello. Hey, Dia, how are you?
Good. How are you?
It's been a while.
Been a while, yes.
Thank you for joining me today. I know that I read your comment. I say she is so passionate about it. She really wants to talk about this topic. I'm glad you joined.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me join.
Of course.
I'm gonna post my. Sometimes you ask for us.
Yeah, please say just say hi or something so I can pin your comment. And then, would you please introduce yourself? And then, okay, I got it here. And let's see, pin the comment, introduce yourself, and let us know what do you think about the topic.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dea, and I am a women's empowerment coach and host of most of the podcasts. Today, I'm also a Christian singer-songwriter and just passionate about life and love and God.
And music is actually flow around her circulation and her family, of course. I know
Yes.
that how many instruments your son plays?
My 20-year-old son plays 24 instruments.
How many instruments is out there in general?
I don't know how many there are out there, but for example, it's electric guitar or acoustic guitar or bass with 8 strings, bass with 6 strings, upright bass, trumpet, 2 types of saxophone, guitar, keyboards, regular piano. I mean, you can do different, some of them are played differently, even though it's similar.
Okay.
And he plays French horn in college. So he's a composer, singer, musician overall, and he's the middle one. The older one is a lead guitarist for a band that has recently, this past year, did 9 cities touring to open up for the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
So everybody is, and then my little one sings like a Broadway star, and then my girls are also singers, and I'm a singer, but they're way more talented than
God bless your family, but something that every time you talk about your children, and of course this is something to be proud of, but I really enjoy watching you talk about your children with this feeling. I mean, this mama feeling that that is my boy, this is the other one. That's amazing. It's really that makes me happy.
Yeah, they're my blessings. They really are. They really are. So what are we talking about today? Are we talking about the ugly truth lie?
The question is, ugly truth or protective lie?
The first thing I'm going to say that's the most recent experience with a lie is I almost died because someone lied, right? So to me, a lie can be life-changing and can be fatal to someone else. I don't think the person who lies and causes something traumatic to happen means to cause something traumatic, but they lie without thinking and then doesn't realize how it'll impact somebody else. So in my case, about a year ago, almost to a year to the date, at April 7th, I was infected with the COVID virus because someone in my family went out of town and knew that I had this in place. I've been very careful with my kids, and I said, okay, if anyone goes out of town, let me know so I have at least an opportunity to make a choice and say, you can't be near the children, or yes, you can be. But I would always say, give me 5 to 7 days just to give me an opportunity to figure out if we are exposed, right? If we get it or not, to avoid anyway. Person decided that it wasn't important to share that they had left town, didn't quarantine, and did not, and showed up and engaged with the children. My children got sick, then I got sick. And my kids, thank God my kids were okay, but I was hospitalized twice, and I came really close to dying, and it was devastating. The hardest part was when I found out that it was actually planned out, not to hurt me, but it was planned out not to tell me that, they needed to quarantine. Say, don't let her know that, I'm not going to let her know that I went out of town so that I don't have to quarantine.
So it turned a mistake to an intentional lie.
Yep, a premeditated lie that almost caused my life. So it was, to say the least, one of the hardest things to overcome. It was hard overcoming COVID, but the hardest part about it was the emotional aspect of getting sick at the hands of someone else. To realize that a lie can totally manipulate someone else's experience, and it's almost like it was really difficult to understand that, to accept how powerful a lie can be.
Okay, so I want to take this conversation. So we talk about general social lies. We already have an experience. As an empowerment coach for women, you have talked to hundreds of women. When it comes to relationship, what do you have to share? Something that might be relevant to the topic.
Yeah, in terms of relationships, now here's the general concept about lies. Lies can affect people differently depending on what area. It's very layered. So, for example, if you go to the store and you come home and your kid says, hey, where were you? And you say, oh, I was at the salon, because you don't want to tell them that you're getting a gift for them at the store. They call that a white lying. It's not going to hurt anybody, right? But when it comes to relationships, lies can destroy families. Lies can break marriages. Lies can hurt children. I believe that one of the most intelligent things that I've ever heard, and when I work with women who have been through a divorce or a broken relationship, a broken home, what I say to them is, there is no tragedy in divorce. The tragic thing about staying with someone that lies to you or cheats on you is that you're actually teaching your children all the wrong things about love. See, to me, that's tragic. That's tragic. When your children are watching this constant, behavior that doesn't correct itself. A person has to make a commitment to stop lying. And a lie is, like I said, it can literally just imagine a tsunami, right? The water comes crashing through and destroys everything in its path. To me, that's a lie. It destroys marriages, it destroys homes, it destroys lives, it separates people, divides and conquers. It's really, really, really bad.
Okay, so as I promised, first hour has passed and we heard different opinions. I want to ask you a question and open another topic, another discussion. I know that you can handle it. I'm so glad that you're here to start with. It is kind of like complicated, but let's begin. I personally do not believe in white lies as well. I mean, we see that everyone say, yeah, go with the brutal honesty, just lie, whatever it is, give it to me, ugly or not, like just I want the truth. Okay. We talk about social lies, we talk about relationships, and so far we all agree that when you lie, you underestimate the other person's capacity. You can justify it with it's just a kid, it's 5-year-old, it's 6-year-old, okay. It is, okay, they cannot handle the truth, and it is actually a fact. The 5-year-old cannot handle the truth. You might lie to them because you underestimate the capacity of handling the truth. When it comes to seniors, to elder people, okay, again, it's 80, 90, maybe not in right mind, or maybe they are suffering from cognitive disorders. So, okay, again, there's a very delicate way to measure the capacity. But when it comes to real life and our day-to-day life, we see, okay, when someone lies to me, beside anything else, they are underestimating my understanding, my capacity of my mental capacity. My next question here is, and I'm sure that you're going to be honest, have you ever lied to yourself?
Have I ever lied to myself? You know, I have to say that under the concept of what a lie is, no. I think all of us have an internal lie detector. Women in particular have intuition. So people may say, let's say in the area of relationship, well, didn't you know that this person couldn't, like you kind of knew they were lying? And, you know, I call those the detector of red flags. Anybody who can detect red flags do not lie to themselves. Now, do we accept certain lies because of certain things? Yes, that's where it gets a little complicated. What happens is we will accept a certain predicament to protect our desire to receive something that we know deep inside cannot be given.
It's again about it's about your relationship with someone else. As you said, you see the red flag, you don't want to see it. You see something is wrong, you don't want to accept it. Okay, it's kind of lying to yourself. My next question is, in a relationship with yourself, I want to bring some ugly truth, some really ugly truth, to see if we are 100% honest to ourselves about it or not. Because life has some truth, facts that undeniable, but we keep lying. I do, many others do, and this is a practice. Okay, so because everything is just step by step. We already know that we want the truth, whatever it is. Death is the truth. Death will happen. Change is the truth. There are lies that are there. We don't want to see it. We just don't want to look at them. And we'll keep lying to ourselves. If my values are lie, whatever it is, I mean, give me the truth, whatever it is, when it comes to yourself and how you interact inside you, be honest with yourself as well. What do you think about that? Have you ever had this?
In that type of structure that you just presented, lies become denial or something that we call avoidance. You know, it's another way of saying we're lying to ourselves. There's denial and avoidance. So you have to figure, it goes circumstance by circumstance. It's not something that can be generalized. In general, I believe that we all want to believe the things we want to believe in spite of what happens, especially if it's something that we're not in control over. We can't control how other people will, relate towards us. And I think, especially in the realm of relationship, it's not uncommon that we sort of denial, some sort of trade-off, right? We want to have that one thing that we know might not be quite the truth. So we trade off. We give the best of ourselves because we think the person's going to take all of us. We start compromising ourselves in order to get that thing that we think is the truth when it isn't. And a lot of us do avoidance and denial. I don't know if we do it. And I'll give you an example, myself, for example, right? So my personal experience, which is kind of hard to talk about, but I'm willing to put it here on the table. There were things that I knew about my relationship that I understood very early on that they weren't the right things. I chose to do trade-off. What do I get if I stay with this lie? What do I get if I just pretend it's not a lie, that I just pretend it's not happening? Okay, I got some things along the way in my life. When I got to the end of the relationship and the relationship didn't work out, I had to look back and say, what was my role in my pain? What did I do? Now, was it my fault? That's to be debated, right? Is it the other person's fault? Well, it depends who's looking at it. However, what was there. And the lies that I told myself to carry on to get the things that I wanted, that was my part. I played a part in it. So I think a lot of times we end up being lied to because we don't want to see what the truth is. It's a very complicated thing. I mean, there is such a thing as a clear lie. Somebody may come right to your face and say something that's not true. Yes. But then there are the lies. There are the things that are there that you noticed weren't there to begin with. And then you lie to yourself that, no, it's going to be okay. I can work through it. Well, if I just stick around a little longer, it's almost like we lie to ourselves. We fool ourselves because we're going into denial. We're going into avoidance because we don't want to deal with the truth. So lies can also be not dealing with the truth.
Mm-hmm. Don't want to see the truth.
Lies are very layered. Lies are very layered. It can be as simple as me coming to you and saying a total lie, and you don't know me, so you say, oh, okay, great. It's a lie, but you don't know that. Or you already know something that's not quite right, and you say to yourself, oh, I'm gonna accept that. Oh, I think she's telling the truth, or take it for at face value.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But we have a radar. We are lie detectors.
Mm-hmm.
All of us have a lie detector within. If we betrayed us, red flag detector and the lie detector within.
Thank you so much, Dea. It's always great to have you here, and hearing your shares is amazing. Thank you so much, and
You're welcome.
looking forward to see you soon again.
Soon again, yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, so far we know that lie is not cool, of course. Ugly truth, doesn't matter how ugly is it, it's more acceptable. That's what we're looking for. When it comes to lies, we might justify with white lie, or they cannot handle it, or it didn't hurt anyone. It does. And if you choose the ugly truth over a protective lie, we need to be honest with ourselves as well. There are some facts and there are some ultimate truth in life that we might not be so pleased by them, and we decide not to think about them. Like death. I invite you all to think about death every morning. 5 minutes, just sit there and think about it. It's a fact, it will come. It's a guest that will come to all of us. And it will change your perspective. The more convenient is your life, the less you think about it. But it is a truth, it will come. Change is a truth. If you think that everything will remain the same that it is a lie that you are telling yourself. Good or bad, it shall pass. There's no will in that anyway. Okay, so let's continue. I guess we can have one more guest to talk to. And all right, we're still waiting, and let's see. Okay, let's go. Hello. Atya is gone. All right. So let's just Keep it up. Let's go to Terry. Terry. Hello.
Lunch was over, so I'm gonna make or are you there?
I can hear you. I cannot see you. I think it's. How is it now? You.
I can see you. Can you see me?
I can see you. It's a little bit breaking, but where are we?
Hang on, I'm at work.
Okay. Okay.
Let me switch. I don't know how to switch my camera around. Oh, there we go.
Double tap. Tap. Yeah. Okay. How was your lunch?
It was short. I overslept this morning because I hadn't been sleeping very well.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was sleeping in and didn't want to get up this morning, so I had a short lunch.
Oh.
But I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much. How are you doing? So would you please introduce yourself first and let us know what is your answer to the question?
I am Terry, and I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, USA.
Mm-hmm.
And
can you please speak up a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Terry,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. But I just wanted to join and just say thank you for this subject. It's kind of bringing some awareness to myself as well, which is great. And I love the shares so far. And thank you for everything that you do, Dr. Umar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But I got to get my train of thought back. I was listening to the lady when she was talking about having to make some decisions in regards to her daughter. And I have had kind of an abusive life, if you want to say that. Very dysfunctional family. And managed to find dysfunctional gentlemen, men.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular one was very toxic. And I'm going to try to make the story short. Bottom line, he was an alcoholic, drank a whole lot, and I had let him begin with me because he was facing a situation as a prison time. And being together, I just thought I'd help him out, so that came about. He got drunk, really drunk one night, and just lost it. He just did things wrong. And basically, he held a knife to my throat, threatened my life, kept me. My daughter had left. I have a daughter, and my daughter was over at a friend's house. But I mean, it was a nightmare. I've never been more frightened in all of my life. And then he managed to just talk so much stuff about what he's done before and how he could kill me in an instant if he wanted to do it. Not my man. So I was very scared, and I was trying to figure out, how do I get out of this situation? So he finally dropped the knife, and I kept saying he always wanted to eat. I'm like, don't you want to eat? Because I knew if he ate to go to bed, then that would be my opportunity to kind of go. And he did. And so I just grabbed whatever I could possibly think of at the moment and my dog and snuck out the back door so he wouldn't hear me, walked around, got in the car, and left. And I had to abandon my home. I had to come up with reasons to explain to my daughter. So in her saying that about her daughter, it brought that back up to me. And I had to lie. And let me just also preface everything that I'm a true believer. I believe in the truth. I don't believe in lies. I think they always come around and bite you in the butt eventually. That's sensitive, in my opinion, if you don't have to. I mean, of course, like the lady said, we all tell white lies. You know, I'm not really sick when I'm sick, or not really sick when I'm calling in, stuff like that. But for the most part, I don't ever lie. I don't. I mean, I just don't. So I had to explain to her, to some degree, of why she had to go stay with her friends for 2 weeks, because I was scared for our lives. He had talked about being able to, he had done it in the past about pointing a gun with a laser light at me when it was unbeknownst to me. So I was very fearful. So I left my we stayed at my best friend's mother's house with her daughter, and she was not there anymore because she took her life. That's another tragedy and loss that I've experienced, is suicide. And I had to call in my work as well and explain why I couldn't be there. And so those were lies, but those were, I don't even know what kind of lies to describe that, but eventually the truth has to come out. Eventually I have to get back on with my life. And I think about 2 months had passed. I hadn't lived in my home. My daughter was away from me. I hadn't seen her. Fortunately, she's a very independent woman, and God got a hold of her heart, so she was pretty secure just being with her friends, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's time to get back to life. I go pick her up, and I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to tell this to her? And a part of me didn't want to tell her at all, but she had questions. What's going on, you know? And so I had to sit there, and this happens to be her dad that did this to me. And we go to get some ice cream, and we're sitting in the van at the time, and I just proceed to tell her, that that your dad is an alcoholic, and he has issues and all of these things, and that he had done what he done to me. And we just cried together. But I said, I've taken precautions in place. I put a restraining order against him so he can't come around. Reported him to the police for what he did, so he was even more scared, actually. He called and blew my phone up the next day and completely lied about it the whole time. Denied it, every bit of it. And anyway, so I told her I put precautions in place. He had went into my home and boarded up the windows, so that he couldn't let me in, at least not that way. I put alarms up on all my doors, and I changed the locks. I said, this is what I have to do, and it's all I can do. If you ever feel unsafe, just try to secure her in some way so she could feel safe in her home.
Mm.
And like I said, I'm truly blessed to have her. She was super understanding. I mean, sad for me and sorrow for me, but she is a strong woman. I did not know how strong she was until this happened,
That is my point. First of all, I'm so sorry to hear about what you've been through. It's terrifying. It must be so hard on you, and I hope that the way that you could handle it, that was awesome. But the lesson that we learn and we all need to remember here is we don't know how strong they are. You're protecting someone without while you're underestimating their capacity. It's not a good idea. The way that, so of course, we talk about the spike process. Setting, you don't just, I sometimes I use the term puking the truth to someone's face is not a good idea. Like you just sit with them, prepare them, and then bring them like step by step. But after all the spike process, it's a good idea to share and never underestimate the other individual's capacity and strength, because we are way more stronger than we think.
Exactly. And I had people say that of me, and I know in my head and the thoughts that I have, circumstances that have happened to me in my childhood, and the things that play over and over and over in my head, that we do lie to ourselves to a degree, to protect ourselves. I believe it's to protect ourselves until the time that we're ready to receive those thoughts. And I'm 52 years old, and all of my life I have struggled with my thought life. And I've never really looked at it before as lying to myself. I've always looked at it as it's just the truth that's a part of me that it's just a part of me. There's nothing I can do about it. And since this recent breakup with the gentleman just in the last 2 months, I've been on a quest for self-love and self-acceptance and self-value. And in that process, I've seen that I've been denying myself a lot of things, lying to myself about a lot of things, not realizing that I don't have my mom to blame anymore for the taste that she played, that I was actually the one who was continuing those abusive behaviors. And I had to accept that I was abusing myself. And there's a process, I think, that you have to go through. And I'm trying to go through that process. But in that process also, there's a lot of enlightening and freedom. And through that process, I've been able to see hope. And that's something that I haven't had in a long time. And so truth is a good thing, but it needs to be presented in a form that's acceptable to the other person.
Absolutely.
It needs to come out of love, not out of harm. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share today. Just let y'all know that
You are
we all battle in that area.
you are a strong woman, and I'm so proud of you. And you receiving all love and respect from all the community here. I see that how they admire you and the way you protected your daughter and the way you handle it. It's an honor to talk to you. Thank you so much for your share.
Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Alrighty, so I think we can have one more guest and like a short, quick one.
Hi.
Hello,
How are you?
how are you? Good, thank you so much.
My internet is stable today. I have my charger. Everything's okay.
Okay, great. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. Yeah. I have a lot to say about your topic today.
Okay.
I hate being lied to under any circumstances. I don't believe in lying to protect people unless they're children, like young children, because honestly, they can't take it. But if they're not, like, if they're, teenagers or something, or older, then I don't believe in lying at all. I think whatever it is, you have to tell the truth. And sometimes I've heard people, like, they tell me the truth and then I get mad or, I react. And then they tell me, see, that's why I wasn't going to tell you. And I'm like, I'd rather be mad about the truth than to be mad about the truth and about the fact that you lied to me. That's twice as worse.
Correct. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What if you never find out the truth? What about that?
That I don't. If I never find out the truth, then it might not affect me as much. I don't know. No, but I gotta be told the truth. I don't know.
I think we need to have, there are two approaches. The question that I ask you, it's not a question that I just come up with like today. It's been like since thinkers and philosophers were thinking about this topic. There are two approaches. One would say the lie itself might not be that bad if it justified with a good cause. The other says that lie is not acceptable one way or another. Doesn't mean what is the cause, what is the reason for the lie. There are two different approaches, but I think the other one is absolutely dangerous. When you lie, you call it like a white lie. You lie and you justify it with a good cause. Then you open the door for next lie and then justify it again. And next lie would then justify it again. It's not me. It could be a government, could be, and then they will keep underestimating the other person or the society or the people or the nation's capacity of understanding. You don't understand, I don't tell you. You don't understand, I don't tell you. And that would be the dictatorship in the best way possible. Here, that's the thing. I do not say anything. I do not share anything because I believe you don't understand and you need to trust me. First step might be justified, okay, but when you open this door, it's a really, really dangerous rabbit hole to get in.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is. It's a very dangerous
Mm-hmm.
path to go. And about your first question, when you asked, if your patient's children tell you not to tell the parents that he or she is sick, honestly, I still think the parents should know. I mean, it's their life, it's their health. They should know.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some health conditions, and I've known about them all the time. And then I appreciate that my parents told me, and my doctors also told me, took me serious enough to tell me. And here, like in Canada, it's a rule that you can't tell the children without the person's consent.
Mm-hmm.
Or even the other way around. Parents might say, I'm worried about my child, I want to know what's going on with him or her, but don't tell my child that I came to you. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a very good law that they have, because it's a kind of respect to that person, even if they're sick, even if they're like dying, they should know so they can plan for their whatever time they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And simple way to answer it is that do you want to know if you're in the same situation as the parent?
Yeah.
So of course I really want to. Well, thank you so much, Kimia.
Definitely.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for your
having me.
share.
Sorry about last night.
It's okay. It's
Tried
okay.
to join, but
No problem.
and by the way, Jatul Khadi, I'm on vacation.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Enjoy the.
Thanks.
It seems to be hot wherever you are.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's great.
Enjoy.
Is it
Thank you.
snowing there?
I honestly I don't know. It might be. Yeah. Today is kind of like a cloudy thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Okay, thank you all for watching me. Before I sum it up, I don't know if that's a word or not, to wrap it up, I just want to announce a couple of things. And then my bio, the third name on the link tree is Ikra Deniz. We are now at 90%. We need 10% more of your donations to make it happen, to buy her medication that she is in the immediate need for it. Use the link on my bio, make your donations, send me the screenshot, and put your name in this magic crystal ball for Sunday evening that we have a raffle, and we will pick names and we will send gifts and giveaways. We already have so many beautiful offers. We have a Louis Vuitton wallet, a pinky, beautifully one, and we have a Gucci purse. We have poetry book signed by the author. The author is just here. Anyway, and please make your donation. Send me the screenshot. You can use the link on my bio, the WhatsApp message. Send me the on WhatsApp directly. I can see it. And yeah, take care of yourself. And let's to summarize our session today. Let's see. Lie is a lie. There is no good lie or white lie. There are two approaches. In medicine, we have it like paternalistic approach and shared decision making. Paternalistic approach believes that I know, you don't know, you don't need to know. And I might lie to you, or I might not share the whole truth with you. Shared decision making means I know, you don't know, let me tell you. Then you know, and then we can make a decision together. I believe the second one is actually a better idea. make it really, let's say, acceptable setting, and share the truth completely, and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And then let you both together make a decision. And then you share the responsibility for the decision as well. It's actually a really good idea, because at the end of the day, whatever you choose, it's a really highly likely that it will fail, and you will have the responsibility for that decision, just all by yourself. Okay, again, thank you so much for watching me. I hope you enjoyed this session. It was a really nice one. I really enjoyed all the shares, and I will replay the song that I played at the beginning of the session. I don't know how long it will. They will let me play the song, and sometimes it might just cut it off. But anyway, the song name is Jack Nice, and it's by Dida. You can Google it. You can listen to the beautiful music. Take care of yourself, enjoy, and smile more. Thank you.